Did you know that the majority of senior citizens drink water in ways that subtly impair their health? You might believe that drinking water is difficult, but as we age, our bodies adapt to hydration in subtle but significant ways. You may not always notice it right away, but something that worked for you in your 40s or 50s may now be subtly straining your heart, kidneys, or digestive system. That's why it's so unexpected. This video will reveal 6 typical water drinking behaviors that almost all older adults engage in but should definitely avoid. These behaviors appear innocuous, even habitual. However, you might never view a glass of water the same way when you comprehend the science and the effects. Keep watching to the very end, because you will discover not just what you should no longer do, but also why it is so much more important now than it was in the past. You cannot afford to disregard these water habits if you wish to remain strong, steady, and sharp between the ages of 60 and 80. Let's get started immediately. Number 1. Drinking only when you're thirsty. Waiting until you're thirsty is one of the most common and deceptive behaviors among older folks. It seems reasonable at first glance. Drinking when your body tells you that you're thirsty, it seems easy enough, but around age 60, the body's capacity to detect thirst starts to wane. You may believe you're receiving enough fluids because you're not thirsty, but your body may already be having trouble. This is the result of chronic dehydration that occurs when the "I'm thirsty" signal comes later than it should, or occasionally not at all. In older adults, dehydration frequently manifests as exhaustion, dizziness, brain fog, or constipation rather than dry mouth or intense thirst, and most people don't associate it with water. "I don't feel thirsty, so I guess I don't need to," a 74-year-old man I previously knew said. Drink less now. However, he was constantly exhausted, his blood pressure was constantly changing, and his energy levels beyond his expectations when he eventually began drinking water consistently throughout the day without waiting for thirst. It takes more than merely reacting to cues to stay hydrated as we get older. The goal is to establish a consistent rhythm. Morning coffee, mid-morning coffee, afternoon coffee, and evening coffee. Consider water as an organ treatment that helps every component of your body before symptoms ever arise. It is essential to your kidneys, joints, brain, and even digestion. Avoid waiting until you're thirsty or lightheaded. You're already behind if you're 60, 70, or 80 by the time you start to feel thirsty. Don't just drink when you're signaled. The second is consuming too much water at once. Attempting to catch up on water all at once is another typical error made by many elderly people. You may drink a full glass or two before supper, or worse, right before bed, after realizing late in the day that you haven't had enough. Here's the issue though. When you drink too much water in a short period of time, your kidneys have to work harder to handle the unexpected load because the body doesn't process huge volumes of water as it used to, especially after the age of 60. In addition to causing discomfort like bloating, nausea, or an abrupt urge to urinate that can disrupt your sleep or even cause falls if you're running to the bathroom at night, this can also pump out essential electrolytes, increase heart pressure, and create water intoxication. Although uncommon, it becomes more likely in elderly people who consume significant amounts of water rapidly, particularly while taking drugs that alter salt levels. Your cell's internal balance is important, and drinking too much water at once can occasionally upset that balance in a dangerous way. Ruth, 78, took satisfaction in drinking 6 glasses of water a day, but she drank them all in the afternoon. She frequently felt full, exhausted, and even drained, but she was unable to determine why. When she switched to consuming smaller amounts throughout the day, everything improved. She digested food more easily. The lightheadedness vanished and she slept better. Similar to breathing, hydration should be gradual and constant rather than hurried or excessive. When you remember, taking a few sips every hour or two is better for your health than drinking a lot of water. Your organs prefer peace over chaos. Please let me know in the second remark below if you're still watching this video and finding these ideas helpful. Additionally, I advise you to turn on the bell and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any videos. Your assistance enables us to keep producing high-quality content that will educate and motivate you. Let's proceed. Third, refraining from drinking water right before bed or at night. For a very reasonable reason, many older folks choose to intentionally cease drinking water in the evening. They don't want to get up in the middle of the night to use the restroom. The habit of not drinking water after supper, before bed, or until morning develops because nobody wants their sleep to be disturbed or to run the risk of falling in the dark. However, most people are unaware of this. Over time, this behavior may subtly raise your risk of developing far more serious conditions, including heart strain and early morning dehydration, which is known to be a risk factor for strokes and cardiac events in the elderly. Overnight, the body loses water through respiration, perspiration, and normal metabolic processes. If you go to bed dehydrated, you'll wake up even more exhausted. I had a conversation with an 82-year-old man named Sam who had been warned by a friend to stop drinking water at 7 or you'll be up all day. Evening he did so, but eventually he began to wake up lightheaded, with a racing pulse and a parched tongue. After determining that it was caused by slight but consistent nocturnal dehydration, his doctor suggested drinking a little glass of water before bed. The change was noticeable right away. You don't have to drink a full glass before bed, and while cutting back on liquids right before bed can help cut down on toilet breaks, cutting off water entirely in the early evening causes more harm than good. Instead, strive for equilibrium. Drink in the evening, and if you wake up dry, keep a little cup by your bedside. Gradually train your bladder without denying your body of necessities. At night, your organs continue to function. Water is still used by your brain. Your heart continues to beat. Give your kidneys what they need to safely perform their function, even if it's only a few sips after brushing your teeth. Avoiding water at night may help you sleep better, but it may also be subtly harming your health. The key is to consume it in moderation and at the right times. Fourth, substituting tea, coffee, or juice for water. Replacing simple water with hydrating options like tea, coffee, or fruit juice is one habit that creeps into many senior routines. Though they may temporarily quench your thirst, these beverages don't provide your body with the nutrients it truly needs. They are liquids after all, go down smoothly, and provide flavor. In many cases, they have been a part of your routine for decades. Let's have some tea and coffee first, because they both include caffeine, a natural diuretic. Your body actually loses water more quickly. Therefore, even while a warm cup of coffee may feel pleasant, especially in the morning, it can subtly deplete your body of more water than it replenishes, which over time can leave you feeling dehydrated, even when you're drinking. Next, there's juice. Although it may appear healthy in moderation, most juices, especially store-bought ones, are high in sugar, which causes your cells to lose water when it enters your bloodstream in big quantities. I once met a couple in their 70s, George and Evelyn, who drank orange juice with every meal, which is why many individuals feel bloated or even thirstier after drinking a glass of juice than before. When they switched out 2 of their daily juice glasses for water, they were astounded by how much better they felt, clearer heads, less cravings, and more energy. We thought we were being healthy, George shared. But both were dealing with fluctuating blood sugar, dry skin, and nagging headaches. Water functions differently. It just helps convey nutrients, remove waste, regulate temperature, and cushion your joints without competing with your organs or requiring processing. Nothing else accomplishes that as well. Not even teas made with herbs. You can still have your coffee in the morning. Tea and the occasional juice are still acceptable, but don't consider them to be part of your hydration. Make sure your body is still receiving the things it truly needs, and count them as treats. Every day, drink clean, unflavored water. If you're still watching this video and finding these ideas helpful, please let me know by leaving a comment below. Number 4. And now let's proceed if you haven't subscribed yet. The 5th is not drinking water while eating. Over time, a common misconception spread that drinking water with meals impairs digestion. You may have heard this too. It weakens digestion or dilutes stomach acid. Many elderly people have conditioned themselves to completely avoid water when eating because of this idea, putting down their glass despite feeling the need for a drink. However, this is what really occurs. Consuming tiny amounts of water with meals facilitates the stomach's digestion of nutrients and breaks down food, softening its texture for easy swallowing. The intelligent body regulates the acidity of your digestive fluids according to the foods and beverages you consume. Your system will be able to process the food more easily if you take a few sips of water. Actually, studies have shown that a small amount of water during meals can improve nutrient absorption and decrease overeating by promoting a feeling of fullness. This can assist healthy weight management, which is particularly crucial as metabolism slows down in later life. Larry, a 75-year-old man I knew, told me that he frequently had difficulty swallowing, suffered from recurrent heartburn, and felt lethargic after eating. He also always ate his lunch totally dry because he didn't want to decrease his stomach acid. His digestion significantly improved after he began consuming only half a glass of room temperature water with meals. I feel lighter now, he stated. And the crucial balance is that I no longer choke on dry meals. It's not necessary to drink a full glass of water while eating, but keeping water around and taking tiny sips during your meal will help, not hurt, digestion. In most situations, skipping water between meals is a habit that subtly interferes with your body's normal rhythm, but it may seem like a smart move if you've heard this for years. Don't be scared to drink water as you eat. It's among the easiest methods to assist your body in performing tasks that it is already capable of. The sixth person is consuming cold water rather than ambient temperature. Drinking ice-cold water, particularly on warm days or after a walk, is a small but significant practice that many seniors maintain. Choosing cold water over room temperature on a daily basis may be a quiet way for older individuals to feel refreshed, disrupting digestion, circulation, and even your body's capacity for effective self-regulation. Here's why our digestion naturally slows down as we become older. The sensitivity of our blood vessels increases. When you put extremely cold water into this more sensitive system, your body has to reroute energy to warm it up. This can slow down digestion, constrict blood vessels, and even make you feel sluggish or cold, not just in your mouth but also in your chest and stomach. Our internal thermostat isn't quite as sharp as it once was. I once met Doris, an 81-year-old woman who kept a pitcher of ice water by her recliner every day. She drank it with every meal, but her doctor advised her to switch to room temperature water for a week because it made her feel less bloated after meals, more comfortable after meals, and less like she was constantly fighting the cold. Water at room temperature facilitates your body's functions without alarming the system. It passes more easily through your organs, facilitates digestion, and maintains stable blood circulation, all of which are crucial if you have diabetes, heart disease, or arthritis. You can still enjoy cold water after this. After gardening or taking a stroll outside, a refreshing beverage is acceptable in moderation. However, room temperature is frequently the kinder, more sensible option when it comes to routine daily drinking, particularly with meals or on an empty stomach. Most individuals don't notice this little change, but for older persons it can result in fewer stomach problems, stable energy, and less stress on systems that are already exerting a little more effort as we age. If you are still viewing this video and finding these ideas useful, please let me know by leaving a comment below number 6. Additionally, I advise you to turn on the bell and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any videos. Your support enables us to keep producing high-quality content to educate and motivate you. Let's proceed now. Farasheen's closing remarks: although most people don't change their hydration habits by the time we reach our 60s, 70s, or 80s, our body's ability to handle water has changed. They continue to do the same things every day without realizing that these seemingly insignificant decisions could be gradually depleting their vitality and health. Today we examine 6 water behaviors that are quite prevalent among older folks. Relying on flavored drinks at night, avoiding water, and waiting until you're thirsty before consuming too much at once. Choosing chili over room temperature and avoiding water during meals. When combined, they subtly diminish the very thing your body most needs, even if each one appears innocuous on its own. Consistently beneficial hydration. The good news is that changing any of these habits is simple. Gentle awareness suffices instead of costly technology, intricate routines, or rigorous tracking. A change in timing, a few sips spaced out throughout the day, and a deliberate decision to turn water into your ally rather than an afterthought. Please tell me which of these habits surprises you the most, which one you've been doing unconsciously for years, and what tiny adjustment you're willing to make this week to boost your energy, your digestive system, and general health. We appreciate your participation today and would want to hear from you. Please leave a comment below with one item you learned and how you intend to apply it in your life. We value your opinions, so please feel free to express them. Reading your remarks greatly inspires and motivates us. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it entertaining and useful. Your assistance enables us to keep producing high-quality content to educate and uplift you. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video.